Hi 皆さんこんにちは。Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to Real Japanese Family. Okay, so in the last video, we learned different ways of calling ourselves, but you probably know that we don't use Watashiwa as much as in English. Even when we introduce ourselves, Japanese people would say, for example, 鈴木です。大阪出身です instead of 私は鈴木です。私は大阪出身です。Why? Because it's kind of obvious when we are talking about ourselves by the context. And also another reason why we don't really say I all the time is because historically Japanese people had a tendency to avoid asserting themselves too much. So you might be going, okay, so we never use Watashiwa. Okay, thank you very much, Miku sensei. Bye. ちょっと待って。There are times where we say 私は僕は俺は So I'm gonna explain now. Okay, let's just get into it. Number one, we use 私は when we have a different opinion from the other person. For example, let's say your friend says, I hate natto. And you want to say, I like it. You can say, 私は好き. 私は好き or if you're a guy, you can say 俺は好き or 僕は好き. Here you could just say 好き and people would understand it, but Japanese people tend to say 私は in this situation. So は particle has a function of comparison. For more information, please watch my video on は and が particle. But by saying 私は here, you can give a nuance of, oh, you don't like it, but I do. Or for example, let's say your friend is like, I'm not going, and you want to say, oh, I will. You don't go, but I will. You can say, 私は行く. 私は行く. Okay, another example. Let's say I said, 田舎に住みたい. 田舎に住みたい. I want to live in countryside. And you want to say, well, I don't. I want to live in a city. You can say, 私は都会に住みたい. 私は都会に住みたい. So you want to live in a countryside, but I don't. I want to live in a city. So basically when you want to say, oh, you like it? I don't. Or you don't like it? I do. When you compare the listener and yourself, you can use 私は. Or for example, if I said, 早く子供欲しいな while looking at a kid on the street and you want to say, I don't want to have kids yet.You can say, 私はまだ欲しくない. 私はまだ欲しくない to say, you do but I don't. And very important thing is that Japanese people sometimes omit this は and just say, 私行く or 私都会に住みたい when speaking. But when writing, you have to always put は particle. Okay, number two, you can use 私は when you want to say, well, I don't know about other people, but I do or I don't.So let's say you are going camping with a group of people and your friend is like, 水着持って行った方がいいかな 水着持って行った方がいいかな You can say, 私は持っていく or 私は持っていくよ to say, I don't know about other people, but I will bring it. So for example, you and your friend were invited to a party and your friend asks you, みんな何着てくるのかな And you want to say, I don't know, but I will go in a suit. You can say, 私はスーツで行くよ. 私はスーツで行くよ. So you tend to use 私は to emphasize, I don't know about other people, but I do or I don't. To kind of emphasize, I don't know, but I do this. If you're asking about me. So for example, let's say you're going hiking with people and then your friends ask you, oh, should we bring lunch or are you going to bring lunch? お昼ご飯持っていく and you wanna say, I don't know what we should do. I don't know about other people, but I think I will buy it in the convenience store if you're asking about me. Then you can say, 私はコンビニで買うよ. 私はコンビニで買うよ. Okay, let's move on to number 3.You can use 私は when you change the subject and start talking about yourself. Okay, I will show you an example.
ほんと久しぶりだね。元気してた？最近仕事がリモートになったんだけど、めっちゃ楽。でも家で働くのって大変だね。全然集中できない。わかる。私も2年家で働いてるけど、カフェとかレストランの方が集中できる。冷蔵庫が近くにないからでしょ？なんでわかったの？ミク家にいたらずっとなんか食べてるじゃん。 ミクは最近何してたの？最近ずっと海外ドラマ見てる。何見てるの？モダンファミリー知ってる？知らない。知らないの？めっちゃ面白いよ。ネットフリックスにあるから見てみて。見てみる。私、最近鬼滅にハマってて毎日見てる。
Okay, did you see where we used Watashi? So my friend was talking about her work. And in order to change the subject and start talking about myself, I used Watashi and said, 私もう2年家で働いてるけど、カフェとかレストランの方が集中できる。私もう2年家で働いてるけど、カフェとかレストランの方が集中できる。And of course, it's not a big deal if you omit watashi here, because even if you omit watashi here, it's still obvious that you're talking about yourself. But just to make it clear to the listener, we tend to use watashi when we change the subject and start talking about ourselves. So I was talking about how I'm into Modern Family, and she changed subject and she started to talk about herself, and she said, 私、最近鬼滅にハマってて、毎日見てる。I'm into 鬼滅 and I'm watching it every day. Okay, so when the subject of the conversation is the other person or someone else, and you want to change the subject to you and start talking about yourself, you can use 私. And did you also know that we barely say 私の either? So in English, you could say, I got a haircut, and also you can say, I got my haircut.But in Japanese, we wouldn't say 私の髪を切った. We would just say 髪を切った or we would even omit this O particle, so we say 髪切った. Or for example, in English, you can say I will bring a camera or I will bring my camera, right? But we wouldn't really say 私のカメラを持っていく. We would just say カメラを持っていく because it's kind of obvious that it's your hair and it's your camera, so we don't really say 私の, but there are situations where we would use 私の or 俺の. So let me cover that in another video. There are several more situations where you can use 私 in a casual conversation, but these are the common situations where you can use 私. So from today, expose yourself to Japanese anime, Japanese series, or Japanese friends and pick up where they are using 私 and in what situation they are using 私. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful to you, and if you learned something, little something from this video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. You did? You did. Okay, thank you so much. また次の動画で会いましょう。またね。ありがとう。
ちょっと待って。I would like to announce you guys that I created 2 powerful products that you can use to improve your Japanese fast without getting a Japanese teacher. First up, Mercurial Japanese Anki deck. This combines the Anki memorization technology and Mercurial Japanese vocabulary and grammar, which has been handpicked by me to get you speak like a native. It has English, hiragana, and kanji with Japanese native audio.
何回か日本に行ったことがある。
If you don't have time but don't want to lose your daily practice, I recommend you the Verb Conjugation grammar shadowing audio. You can listen to it while you are going to work, exercising,
cooking, driving, having a bath, playing video games, and playing ping-pong, etc.
Really, you have no excuse. Both products will help you learn new vocabularies and build sentences through conjugation. You will think faster and pronounce words more fluently. One more thing. If you can subscribe this channel, that would be amazing. You know, I love you. You legend. Loving your work. ありがとう。